go ahead and take your seats. Those of us in the back, on the sides, find a spot, find a chair. Settle in. How about now? It's good to see you all. Okay, we'll now accept nominations for Brighton Town Supervisor, beginning with the declared candidates in alphabetical order. Once nominations and speeches by candidates are complete, the Q&A session will begin with both candidates answering or more than two candidates, if that is the case, each question and questions alternating between the candidates. So our first nominator is Christine Corrado for 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you. And before the clock officially starts, I want to thank Liz for managing such a smooth process this evening. You look out in front at this whole crowd, this is a daunting gathering, and you've got it all under control. We're tougher than first, second, or third graders combined. All right, now the clock can start. So I rise to nominate Bill Moehle for the office of Brighton Town Supervisor. Like all of us in this room, Bill loves Brighton. He's steadfast in his advocacy for our community. He's served Brighton with dedication and integrity. First as town attorney in the Frankel years, and now as supervisor since 2012. His executive leadership and granular knowledge of town operations, all the things that government does to keep life clicking along without a hitch for constituents, are critical in these nationally turbulent times. He knows how Brighton works, he has the relationships to get what Brighton needs, and most importantly, he understands what Brightonians of all ages and backgrounds want to see come to fruition in our town, and he's committed to continuing to make that vision a reality. So for steady leadership, deep knowledge, and an ever brighter Brighton, I urge this committee to vote for Bill Moehle as the designated candidate for Brighton Town Supervisor.
And is there a second?
Mary Smith.
Mary Smith.
Christine, you took my, because that's how I was looking forward to starting, was thanking Liz. But I will do that, and I'll also thank you, Christine, for those kind words. Thank you to all of our BDC members that are here tonight and who come here Wednesday after month after month after month. It means a lot. It's more important today than ever that we work together to elect Democrats at all levels of government with a proven track record of good government leadership, but Democrats who also stand up for democracy and justice. I'm proud to have the support of so many elected officials that are some are with us today, some couldn't be. Our town clerk, Chris Warner, Christine Corrado, town legislator Howard Mafucci, some of our past legislative and executive officials, my good friend, former Supervisor Frankel, Judge Morris, Ray Tierney, Linda Garner-Goldstein. It has been a privilege working with each one of you over the years. Brighton has long been known as the leader in effective and progressive local government. During our administration, we built the Brickyard Trail, the Auburn Trail, the Highland Crossing Trail, and acquired over 100 more acres of open space, with still more to come. Brighton is recognized by New York State as a clean energy community and a climate smart community. We're installing solar panels and a trailblazing geothermal heating and cooling system at Town Hall. We've secured millions of dollars in grants, and we've received perfect scores for our fiscal condition from the New York State Comptroller for the last 4 years running. Our vision for Brighton's future builds on that track record. Our Envision Brighton 2028 comp plan was funded through a state sustainability grant and is grounded in sustainability. We have implemented many of the recommendations in that plan, and we're still implementing. Now, when we adopted that plan in 2018, we promised to update the plan by 2028, hence the name. We will include funding for that update in the 2027 budget. Monroe Avenue is our main street, and building upon the highly successful Whole Foods Plaza and Quickly's retail projects, our comprehensive plan update, and our strong advocacy to the state DOT for a walkable, bikeable Monroe Avenue redevelopment, those will be transformational catalysts. We've applied for grant funding to implement the Multiversity Trail in West Brighton, and we'll move forward with community center plans. I've also asked Councilmember Christine Corrado to lead our communications task force to look at what we're doing today, but more importantly, make sure, building on some of the things Dan talked about, that we are providing the best possible communication to our community. In these deeply troubled times, community leaders must show up for their communities in the face of what is an authoritarian threat to democracy. Not only do I show up every week in the 12 Corners for rallies organized by our Amy Stockwell, I also work as an elected official to ensure that Brighton police and other resources are not used for ICE. Just this morning in our finance committee, we reviewed and passed on to the board a new order setting out in even greater detail the ways that we commit not to be a part of this horrific civil immigration fiasco of ICE. These times demand the vision to see what we can aspire to be and the experience and the expertise to make it happen. I'm humbled to be here tonight. I have that vision, I have that experience, and I'm committed to standing up and showing up for Brighton going forward. Thank you so much.
Bill.
And our next nominator, Sanjay Hernandani, for 1 minute.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you for the amazing job you're doing. Wow, this is what democracy looks like. That's why I rise tonight to place the name of Nate Salzman in nomination for town supervisor. At a time when people feel unheard, when we have horrific abuses of power by the federal government. Can you guys not hear me loud enough? Okay. Is everybody hearing me now? When we have horrific abuses of power, when we have federal agents murdering civilians in the streets, we need a different kind of leadership, one rooted in humility, openness, and respect. Nate listens carefully, especially when there are differing views, and he understands that disagreement is not something to fear, but something that can make our decisions stronger. Nate has shown that leadership isn't about authority or volume, it's about trust. That approach has allowed him to bring together a broad and diverse group of volunteers. Nate is also clear about what he wants for Brighton. A vibrant town where residents and businesses thrive, a government that operates transparently and seeks community input before decisions are made and follows through on long discussed priorities with action. After many years of continuity in leadership, Brighton Democrats now have the opportunity to choose a new direction, one that builds on our values while preparing our town for the future. For all of those reasons, it is my honor to place in nomination Nate Salzman for town supervisor.
And a second.
Second, Ed Pelton.
And Pelta. Okay, 3 minutes, thank you.
I'm the short guy here. I'm running for Brighton Town Supervisor because I love this town and because loving a place means being honest about it. I grew up here. I went to Brighton High School and I married my Brighton sweetheart. And now I'm raising my family in the same community that raised me. My family's journey is a Brighton story. Immigrants who arrived with very little, worked however they could, opened small businesses, bought homes, and built a life here. That opportunity used to be more achievable here in Brighton. Today, for too many people, that feels out of reach. Too many of my peers feel that if they want to start a business, afford their first home, build a future, they have to leave. and I don't accept that as our destiny. Here's the truth. Brighton is a great town, but we are falling behind. 8 years ago, residents came together to create Envision Brighton 2028. We said we wanted a walkable corridors for commercial centers, more housing choices, a town government that works for residents and small businesses alike. But today, our land use system works against those goals. Too many of the outcomes that we say we want, mixed use buildings, housing near corridors, small business growth, can only happen through negotiated incentive zoning exemptions. That turns zoning into a deal-by-deal negotiation instead of clear rules that reflect our plans. What's the result? A system that favors large players over local entrepreneurs. Think Monroe Avenue. Monroe Avenue should be one of Brighton's greatest assets, but rigid parking minimums and unpredictable approvals make it harder for small businesses to expand or reinvest, leaving empty parking lots and missed opportunities. Residents end up driving to other towns for the very things that we say we want here. It's not just Monroe Avenue. When housing that fits in our community can only be built through years of negotiation and uncertainty, we fail to create the homes that our families need, keeping prices high and opportunity limited. Now, I'll be honest, there's some chutzpah in this moment. I haven't been in town hall for decades, but I've been there long enough to see a pattern. Backroom meetings instead of outcomes. And at a moment when chaos and cruelty too often define our federal government, it's incumbent on us at the very local level to prove what good government can be. Competent, humane, a welcoming table where everybody belongs. As supervisor, I will modernize how Brighton governs by aligning our rules with our plans, by bringing transparency to decision making, by making it easier to build what we already agreed that we want. This isn't radical change. It's about finishing the work. It's grounded in democratic values, opportunity, fairness, affordability, a government that works for the people that it serves. If you believe that Brighton is ready for tomorrow, if you believe it's time to deliver and not delay, I respectfully ask for your endorsement. Let's finish the work together.
Are there any other nominations? All right, hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. We'll now open up the Q&A portion. So we'll have 10 minutes of question and answer is how we established our rules. Could I have you guys just pick one of these? And that will be our...
Two.
Okay. We'll start in that way. And then Nate will start the second question first.
Sure.
So, all right, so our first question, and Rich, did you want me to let you know the minutes? So in this first...
It's 5 total. So the longer you speak at the beginning, the less time you have for the later question.
So 10 minutes total for everyone. Okay. Our first question for both of our candidates, our top priority as BDC members, as indicated by 60 people ranking their choices. I am on the wrong page. That is not federal. What do you believe is the most crucial issue facing Brighton today, and how do you propose to address it? 2 minutes. Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, we all heard every single candidate talk about the threat that Washington and authoritarianism places on us as individuals, but on us as a community. And as I mentioned, I drafted just for review this, reviewed this morning by our Finance Committee, new policies to even further strengthen our consistent opposition to illegal ICE civilian immigration enforcement. It's wrong. Our police don't want to do it. We will not do that. We will not stand with ICE here in Brighton, period. But I also want to look at local, because we know we have a great opportunity on Monroe Avenue. We have a couple of catalysts here that will drive success for Monroe Avenue. Many of you were at a meeting just a couple weeks ago. The state DOT held a meeting on a state plan for Monroe Avenue. They got a good start, but there's so much more that will make Monroe Avenue, from a physical plant perspective, even better. Number one, we got to reduce the speed limit. We are talking, the speed limit on Monroe Avenue is 30 in the city. There is no reason for it to be any higher than that in Brighton. More crosswalks. We can make Monroe Avenue a walkable, bikeable community with crosswalks and bike lanes. Not those 4-foot lanes. Councilmember Wilt and I and others fought the fight on East Avenue. We didn't win that time. We're going to win this time. We're going to get 5-foot bike lanes on Monroe Avenue the same way that Elmwood Avenue is. We're going to keep that traffic signal at Warrington and Sylvan. It's so important. People need to be able to traverse Monroe Avenue. So that's part of what we have going on there. But we also, as was mentioned, we're going to be updating our comprehensive plan. Our comprehensive plan based on sustainability, based on walkability, based on the economic viability and vitality of our corridors. Monroe Avenue, West Henrietta Road are critical, and the confluence of those two opportunities, the state's plan to repave, reconfigure, and the town's plan to make it an even better thoroughfare, a main street at 30 miles an hour for all those great businesses that are moving onto Monroe Avenue. In a 100-year-old house, a digital marketing facility, restaurants like Carmen's Cooking, Redwood. We have businesses that are coming to Monroe Avenue. It is the place to be. It's the place to succeed. That's our priority.
Absolutely.
Two-parter. Actually, the way you asked it was a two-parter, so that's perfect. Well, you heard me stand up here and talk about land use. I want to give you an example. There's a restaurant, it's right down the street from my house. My wife and I like to walk over there for dinner. It's called Avino's. Avino's is right on Monroe Avenue in our downtown Brighton, and they can't open for lunch. Now, why can't they open for lunch? Is it staffing? No. The problem is us. The problem's us. At the town level, we have mandatory parking minimums. And so when Avino's is open, when Premium Mortgage is open, the building they share a parking lot with, Avino's must be closed. So this is a thriving, locally owned business. A great couple runs that restaurant. But because of us at the town, they can only open for dinner. And you know what? I didn't come up with this idea. I'd love to get up here and take credit for this. It's in our comprehensive plan that was passed 8 years ago. Why has it taken us 8 years to make these changes? And I want to couple that with, well, how do you get this done, Nate? Because that's nice that you've got an idea for parking, but most people don't know about this. We need to upgrade how we communicate with our residents. We need an electronic newsletter that any resident can opt into that's delivered to your inbox once a month. We need to have electronic summaries of our town board meetings and our subcommittee meetings available on the website. Because who's going to go through a 3-hour meeting on YouTube, or who's going to read hundreds of pages of town board minutes to find the one amendment that they're looking for? Let's make it easier. You shouldn't have to be a lawyer to understand what's going on in our town board meetings. So those are the two changes. We want to fulfill the promises we made in the comprehensive plan 8 years ago, and we need to tell the residents what we're doing.
Our next highest priority question is as follows. What are 2 actions that you have taken since you have been on the town board, Nate, or as town supervisor over the past 2 years, Bill, that you are most proud of? And I'm just going to leave that there. I should have done that before.
And Liz, is it me first?
Yep, you first. Yep. Sorry about that.
I didn't want to jump up here if it wasn't my turn. So I'll give you the two actions I'm most proud about. We have these volunteer committees in our town, and they range from planning board to zoning board, the Parks and Recreation board, the library board, and we have folks out here in the audience and other residents who apply and say, I want to be involved with our town. I would love to join this committee and give some advice. Well, I'll tell you, we had one person who, on social media and also in the public, led a campaign to save the Brighton pool, right? And you guys remember the Brighton pool conversations. Well, a lot of those folks weren't so happy with people like me. And what I did was I saw those comments on social media, I heard those folks at the town board meetings, and I reached out and I said, hey, I'd love to sit and talk to you. And I gotta tell you, they weren't happy with me. A lot of those organizers were not happy with me. And we continued the dialogue, and we continued to work together. And when I saw that one member of this pool group applied for the planning board, my response was fantastic. You know, this is somebody who wants to continue their involvement with the town. And unfortunately, this person applied in May. They sent emails again and again to our town administration without hearing anything back. And you know, I was very proud, along with my colleagues, the last board meeting, to put the item on the agenda from the floor and have her voted on, and she's our newest planning board member. That's somebody who spent months disagreeing with me. And I guess what I'm saying is, I think what I'm proud about is we want to be bringing more people, more voices to the table, especially diverse voices, especially people that don't always think like the folks who are in that town board meeting room. The other issue that I'm proud of, you know, I've been advocating for a town-wide email newsletter. Well, I've been unsuccessful. So what I did was I started my own Substack, and I just started writing about the issues that I'm working on town hall, because I felt that I didn't want to wait for committee meetings and anything else to start informing residents. I wanted to do it right now. So I started this Substack. It's not town official. It's not campaign. It's just me talking about the issues that I think the residents deserve to hear about. So those are my two proudest accomplishments.
Thanks, Nate. I want to go back to a couple things. One, I had the opportunity to sit down with our town planner to look at the premium mortgage building. And he and I determined that, in fact, if they were to come in and look for a lunch opportunity there, that they would probably, at this point, get it. The building is not as fully occupied and busy as it was when Janine first opened Avino. So I'm looking forward to reaching out to her, asking her to come in, and hope that we can have Avino's at lunch as well as at dinner. And I'm also proud of how we handled the pool, because we heard loud and clear people wanted to keep a pool. We had a splash pad coming in. We're going to have a splash pad coming in. What could be better than a splash pad and a pool? So we reached out to Assemblymember Clark, as was mentioned earlier. We got additional money for that pool, and I'm really excited that we're going to be starting work later this summer, after an opportunity for the public to weigh in on what the grounds should look like on that pool project at Town Hall. That's how town government, local government is supposed to work. Listen to the people and make decisions, and I think that's exactly what we're doing. The implementation of the 2018 Envision Brighton Comprehensive Plan is something that is much longer than just the last 2 years. We have been implementing it from the start. The first recommendation, our climate action plan, is something that we did just this past year. Town Hall, huge recommendation on taking town action to reduce emissions. Our geothermal town hall, our solar panels. We now have a net zero town lodge, and we're going to be doing more of that. Again and again and again, community choice aggregation. Many of you heard the story in Sue Hughes Smith's living room, where I heard about community choice aggregation for the first time. A tremendous opportunity to move the needle on emissions. And yes, it ran into a problem. We had a supplier that defaulted to the town. We sued, we collected $1 million for our residents and distributed it to people. Sometimes government isn't, sometimes you have to pick up the pieces. but you gotta have people in place who understand where the pieces are and how you pick them up. Obviously, government, local government especially, we are the government locus to the, closest to the people. So we want to make sure we take every opportunity. Some of it's old school, some of it's new school, and communication with our residents is important. It takes lots of forms. As I mentioned earlier, Councilmember Corrado, herself a communications professional. I have asked her to head up an ad hoc communications task force. She is going to be putting people together, professionals in this community who live in Brighton, who are communications professionals, looking at what we're doing now, seeing how we can improve on it, and most importantly, getting it done in time so that we can make budget changes this year. We always have to think about making sure that we're looking forward to the budget so that we can fund the important things we've got. And one of the ways I talked about grants, I'm really surprised, turning back the clock, because incentive zoning has been our most important land use tool. It's a tool that works for large projects like office plazas down Winton Road, but it's also a tool that's working very well as we work to move two kosher food businesses, Malik's and Lippman's, into one location, and that process is moving along through the town. Incentive zoning is a way to make sure projects meet the needs of a community, to be flexible. It's a way to make sure Quickly's puts their gas pumps in back instead of in front, like every other one Quickly's has ever built. It's a way to make sure that Whole Foods not only builds the Auburn Trail connecting over 2 miles, but pays full taxes. It's a way to make sure that a battery storage facility pays and supports the West Brighton community where it's going to be located. So incentive zoning is a really important part, and by the way, it is the most transparent land use procedure because it involves not only the planning board, where most land use decisions are made, a small group that's not televised, but instead, both the town board and the planning board are involved. Public hearings, televised, an opportunity to come to one or both, and we've seen that work so effectively over the years, whether it's Whole Foods and the creative redevelopment of a very tired commercial area, or the office and senior living facilities that have gotten us parkland, developed parkland, trails built over the years. Resources for small government are hard to find. We don't get state funding, we get very little, we don't get federal funding, we get very little ongoing state funding. So being able to draw upon resources through incentive zoning with public involvement every step of the way is critical. We've used it, the outcomes have been terrific.
I was going to take a second. So the question again is on transparency. I want to go back. This is a theme. I want to talk about decisions that I think I got wrong. I don't know if that's the best campaign strategy. I'm looking at my team over there. But I want to talk about where I went wrong. The pool was brought up tonight. Recycling hasn't been brought up yet, but I'm sure people are thinking about this recycling contract moving from weekly to bi-weekly. One thing that those decisions had in common, those were, the 5 of us at the town board sitting together, negotiating, talking in a room with 0 residents. Now, 0 residents, well, it's got to be publicly noticed. Well, it was. Everything was by the book. It was noticed. It's public. It's on the website. You can come to the meeting if you know how to find it. But when we look around the room and we make decisions that affect your life on a day-to-day basis, and there's not one resident in the room, well, I think we are failing at transparency. I'm not saying we're doing anything illegal, but we are failing at transparency if there are no residents who are coming to the meeting. So I think, I talked about this before. I think we can start an electronic newsletter. All due respect to the committee of folks. I'm not sure who's working on this task force, but the task force that the supervisor mentioned tonight, I believe we can start an electronic newsletter tomorrow if we wanted to. I believe we can start. I believe we can have a communications staff, a communications director. I think we can have constituent services representatives. I think that if you call town hall, you should get a call back. And I want to take a moment. There was a question that wasn't asked tonight. What do you admire about your opponent? I want to take a minute to say that, I admire Bill Moehle is a hardworking man. I mean, for 3 decades, he has worked his butt off for this town, and he is running around trying to communicate with everybody on Facebook, through text, going to different restaurants. I'm here to submit that I don't think it's possible to have a one-man communications shop. And I think we should have a communications director. I think we should have constituent services representatives. So when you get a call, when you call town hall or send an email, somebody gets back to you. And it shouldn't be the engineer. I know a lot of engineers, and they're great people. They're smarter than I am, but maybe they're not the best constituent services representatives, right? And so I would say that if you call the front desk, we can get a response back to you. I've seen it done before. I've seen it done when I worked on Capitol Hill for Congressman, now Senator Peter Welch. I've seen it done at the Obama White House where I worked. It can be done. And I see the 30 seconds. And so the question, I'm sorry, I'm a little thrown off here. The question was about transparency, but we got to talk about incentive zoning. I think it's great that we're talking about incentive zoning right now, because this is a process that starts really at the supervisor's office and only really makes it to the planning board or the public works committee and to you, the public, if it survives the initial months, sometimes years of negotiation. As supervisor, all incentive zoning negotiations would start at the public works committee, where you, the public, can see it, weigh in on it, and so can our town council members. I think that's a very important piece of transparency.
And that concludes our question and answer period. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Liz. All right, I'm here with the teller's report. Thank you to the team over there that's been counting. I'm going to read the teller's report as it stands and then explain it and kind of go over what the next steps are. So, the teller report. Candidate Bill Moehle, 53 votes. Candidate Nate Salzman, 50. Write-ins, 2. Invalidated ballots, 1. This brings us to a total of 106 ballots cast, meaning the minimum number needed for designation is 54. No candidate having received 54 votes, we will be going to a second round. To explain that, just how it is, MCDC bylaws explicitly read that well bill is at 50%, because some of you may have done that math really quickly in your head. I know some of you are Brighton, you guys are a smart group. MCDC bylaws reads that you have to get more than 50%. If you do not obtain more than 50%, you continue on in your round of balloting. We have no designated candidate in the first round. We will be going to a second round. Rachel Rosner, Chris Ross, Nate Salzman, Linda Garner Goldstein.
Here.
So you're collecting them now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the only person collecting ballots.
You are. Liz and Avi are collecting ballots.
Avi, don't invalidate me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that we only had the one bag. That's good.
Does anybody have a ballot that they wish to turn in? If not, I will now deem voting closed, and we will not be accepting any more ballots for round 2 of voting. We will go count. I will point out, you should all stay here, just in case something happens similar to last time, because we're going to stay here until it's done. All right? Thank you all.
No pressure this morning. Yeah. This is not. This is like up there within Salty and Mary Beth, but that one's worse because that was a weighted vote with the whole county. So I'll take simple. Four. Yep. Okay. No Moehle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. One more for Bill Moehle, another for Bill Moehle, and a third for Bill Moehle. So that's 54 for Bill Moehle. And I'm going to start over on Nate.
There were 3 additional votes for Bill.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57.
The minimum that you need ballots cast to get above 50% is 57.
57's your number.
Thanks, Julie.
Sorry. Seriously. Okay. We have secured the requisite number of votes. We needed exactly for designation 57. Nate Salzman received 57 votes, bringing him to 50.44% of the votes, which means it is over 50%. Bill Moehle received 54 votes. There were 113 votes cast. There was 1 illegal vote and 4 blanks. So, having received the requisite number of votes, I declare Nate Salzman the designated candidate for Brighton Town Supervisor. Congratulations, best wishes to all our designated candidates. May you serve with integrity and with compassion and in the service of good governance.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I have a
Sanjay.
point of order. Can I get- Now that the committee has completed its vote and selected a designated Democratic candidate for town supervisor, I'd like to request a clarification for the record. The party leader of this committee plays a central role in organizing, supporting, and advancing the candidates designated by this committee, and per MCDC rules, is the chief officer of the town committee. Given that the party leader's spouse was a candidate in this contest, I think it's important for transparency and for the confidence of this body to clarify one of 2 things. Will the party leader be supporting and advancing this committee's designated candidate for town supervisor going forward? Or if that presents a conflict, will the party leader be stepping back from involvement in that role as it relates to this race? And will the committee appoint an alternate leader I raise this respectfully and in the interest of transparency, party unity, and ensuring that the will of this committee is fully honored. Thank you. I'm addressing the question to the chair.
You're asking if Barbara will step down as leader as part of.
I'm asking if she intends to support the will of this committee. Madam Chair, it's out of order. And this is a designated meeting,
Yeah,
such a
there's
special
other
meeting.
business.
I hereby move the meeting be adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hold your guns.
I just want to write round two on here. Sorry, see my teeth all right.